everybody. Welcome to Fourver Rivals here on the Jumper Punch channel. Hey, that could be seriously one of the best intros in any YouTube show. I'm telling you, mate. If that doesn't get you pumped, I don't know what does. Jay's already here. Evening all. How are you, mate? How are you, mate? So how's everyone going?
Yeah, good evening, fellas.
Hello, everybody. How are we? It's been a big week of footy again. I'm feeling a little flat this week, so I'm looking forward to tonight. Hopefully, pump me up a little bit.
We're gonna bring you down, mate. We're gonna bring you down all the way, the same as your Tigers. You two, Mark, it's time to put you back in your place. And so that's it. So first of all, everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining again. Without you guys, not you three, but without the other people watching us, we are just four people talking to each other, right? So thank you guys. Thanks, Snitz. 17%, sub or 25%. Have you become a member yet, Manny? You promised you would.
Mate, it's too hard to get. I can't do it. I've got to get onto the internet. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I have to get,
you haven't got
How do I do it?
Have you got a computer? Have you got a computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go into Jumper Punch and you push join. It's really not that hard, mate.
That was telling me I've got to become a Facebook member or something like that. I mean,
no, you don't. You just go onto YouTube, you go onto our thing, and you push join. It's not that hard, seriously, man.
All right, mate. All right. Well,
how come I always expose you as a liar every week, Manny?
Hang on. I'm just telling you, that's what I tried, and that's what it was telling me.
You didn't try, because if you tried it, you would have already been a member. Hello to Manny Costco. He just wants everyone to be sure that's not the Manny on thing. He's a different Manny. He doesn't want to be associated with you.
Yasu.
Yeah, Yasu, very good. We got Galicchio here. He's a big fan. Good evening, Rocco and lads. And what's this one here? Last one before Manny stopped the fucking shit talk. All right, so he loves you, man. He loves you. Don't worry. We all love you. All right, guys, this has been a big week, and we are going to get into this. We are going to get into this. Trust me. There's some games we're going to talk about. But before we do, we got our segment. We have decided to call it Forever AFL, or maybe Forever Football. We'll work it out, but let's have what the first one on the agenda is this week, and it's been the news of the week, and here it is. Tasmania named the 19th AFL team. Tassie is now going to be part of the AFL after 150 years. We've decided to allow Tassie into our competition. Guys,
congratulations, Tassie.
It's up to you guys. What do you think about all this?
Oh, it's been a long time coming, hasn't it? I think they've probably been the most deserving state that hasn't gotten one in recent times. You look back at Sydney and Gold Coast that got their own team, and Tassie probably should have been the one that got there in front of them, but they finally got their team, so it's going to be an interesting wait the next how long is it now? 2028, I think they'll be coming in, so we've got a little while.
2028 is the official. They might get a stateside in about 25, so they'll probably get an earlier one into the VFL or something. And the women's, we don't know yet what's happening with them, but the senior side will be 2028. Yes, it will be. That's a while away, actually.
It is. It's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, well, here we go. Well, we'll talk about this. Tassie, here we go, Petrica. Tassie needs a new hospital, not 240 million for the stadium. A little bit of
it's good.
We can't mix those two things. But what do you reckon about? What do you reckon, Mark?
I reckon it's good to have Tassie in the competition. It's going to benefit the AFL. I've got a couple of concerns though. So we've got 19 teams, right? So they've either introduced the 20th team, which is either from the Northern Territory, maybe, possibly. I can't see that happening. Or they've got to get rid of another club because 19 teams, I don't think it's going to work in the fixture. Or what might happen, which I might believe in this case, is that North will merge with Tassie, and Clarkson will be the coach, and he'll take a good half a dozen players from North, because 19 teams, I don't think it's going to work. So it's got to be either 20 teams, 18 teams, and that's where they've got to, play that fixture.
I agree with you. I don't know what you guys think. I don't think we've seen it when it happened with the 17th team, that you got the bye every week. I don't like it. I think there has to be an even number, but it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do with that. What about you, Manny?
I just think at the moment they're spending too much money on building something that's going to cost the state a lot of money. The government's talking about 715 million once that whole project is finished. I mean, I'm not convinced at the moment. I really don't think AFL is going to work in Tasmania, purely because I could see it that they're always trying to get that Carlton Carlton. That's always been the game of the round where they go out there. Look, I don't think there's enough people in Tasmania that are going to. It's going to be at the moment. I'm not convinced. Not convinced.
Well, it's going to happen. So that's the whole thing. That's the first thing. As far as the money, part of it's state, part of it's AFL. They'll get it going. It's a footy state. It's a bigger footy state than the other ones that have come in. So it's definitely, they'll get the support, I think. My issue is not only with the 19, my issue is how are they going to retain players there? Because they find it hard enough to keep players in the Gold Coast and it's sunny there, I'm thinking they're going to have a problem of just keeping those players. They'll get those draft picks, they'll get them in there, and then after a couple of years, they'll be gone again. And that's my problem. Like, let's be serious. Who wants to live in Tassie? Unless you live in Tassie, let's be serious.
All right, look, it's probably a great place to retire. I mean, I've been there a couple of times. Hobart's absolutely stunning. It's a great place if you want to retire. But in terms of footy, look, I think it's probably great in terms of maybe it'll give money to the state, because they're hoping that people are going to be going to Tasmania to watch these games, right? But I just feel that money could be better spent. Money could be better spent.
Yeah, no, I think you'll get decent crowds in Tassie. At the moment, like Gold Coast, they're getting 7,000, 8,000. GWS getting 10,000.
Better at Tassie. You'll get better at Tassie.
15,000. So the Tassie is a known footy state, and they'll get the crowds going. But I reckon that it would need to have to merge with the Victorian club.
That's not going to happen, man. I don't think no club will ever merge
to get those support. Okay.
I don't think it'll happen. I don't think even North Melbourne. You look with the Gold Coast and GWS, the AFL just keep propping them up. There's no way they're going to merge aside. Yeah. That's what I believe. No. I think, as I said, for me, it's retaining players, and it's going to dilute the talent. It's going to dilute the talent, and we're going to be like, already a couple of teams are struggling just because of talent. What's that going to do for the rest of the competition? So have we got enough players to sustain 20 sides?
Yeah.
Girls, I think the interesting watch will be the fans. And Eduardo made a good comment there, and he said, will we start to lose supporters from Tassie? I mean, you've got people that are born and bred in Tasmania. They could be Richmond supporters because there's no Tasmanian team. Will they jump ship and support the local team? That'll be the interesting question. I mean, it's hard to say. Like, if it was me personally, I like to think I would never change, But if you've got a team that's playing there every week, every second week, you can go attend the games in person. It almost becomes a drawing point. It becomes too hard to follow your usual team. So that might pinch fans, but I think that's one of the only ways we're gonna, they're gonna grow their supporter base, because there's not a lot of people in Tassie that don't already have a team. I wouldn't have thought.
There you go, Eduardo. Yeah. He agrees we'll lose supporters from Tassie. Example: Bombers, Blues, Tigers, and Magpies fan. I doubt they will kind of lose our ones, but the other ones, and just like Adelaide, they will get their supporters. You know what I mean? So they will get their supporters. This is another good point by Lou. 23K stadium. That's what they're building. Too small, like they're spending, like, as you said, it's 240 from the state, and with the roof, apparently it could be up to 700 million. and it's only fits 23,000. I reckon I can fit more in my backyard than fucking.
Well, I don't know the numbers of GMHBA Stadium down in Geelong, but they're renovating it at the moment to make it bigger to fit more people. You think if they're doing that in Geelong, surely Tasmania, you're going to just start off with it. You got from scratch, like do it right the first time. Don't muck around and make it small. So I know they've got a couple other stadiums they use there already, so maybe they're taking that into account. I'm not sure, but yeah, I agree. It's definitely going to be more than 23,000. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced.
It doesn't matter about being convinced, Manny. I mean, it's going to happen. So it's going to happen.
Well, yeah, but you're talking about. I mean, Mark said that they're going to be getting. They're going to be averaging 9,000-10,000 per game. I mean,
they'll get more, Manny. They'll get more. But Tassie's a big football state. They'll fill their stadium. They will fill the stadium, guaranteed, mate. They're hanging. You got to see their two clubs there that they've got the North and the South or whatever they are, man. They fill their stadiums. They will get. My problem is trying to keep players there. That's going to be the issue. How are you going to keep stars there to build a side?
Yeah, but they will say that Tassie, they're going to have bigger players and more competitive players to their drafts and all that kind of stuff to make them competitive from the start, as opposed to like GWS and that, where they've got all these draft picks and blah blah blah. So
that's going to be first of all, it's the drafts they're going to give away like they did GWS and that, and it's also there's going to be more of this player movement with all this out of contract and that. I'm sure they're going to make it attractive for them to go there, so they're more competitive a lot quicker. You know what I mean?
Yes, so they have to do that.
It's going to be interesting. I don't like the 19 team.
Yeah, no, I don't like the 19th team either. I think they're going to have to bring in a 20th or get rid of one, which I don't see them getting rid of one. So they're going to have to bring in an extra one, I think, because picture gather round, for example. Someone's not going to miss out on gather round. Someone will miss out.
That's right.
Or,
exactly.
Or Indigenous round now, or Anzac Day week. Like someone's going to miss out with this 17th, this 18th team or 19th team. I can't even keep counting anymore. Yeah, the 19th team. So. But in terms of players, I reckon they're going to have to do a good job at retaining local talent. And you've seen over the years how many stars have come from Tasmania. So that they're not short of a talented player, but it's just getting a lot of local boys into the team, I think, and that's the best way of player retention. But obviously, it's hard to field a side of 22 with 22 elite Tasmanians. So it'll be interesting.
So, as you said, there's going to be a few elite ones, but how many elite Tasmanians would there be? Richo would have never come to Richmond.
Yeah.
Nor would the Rewalts. The Rewalts wouldn't have come to Richmond.
Yeah, they come from over there.
Yeah, but you're saying what you have. You wouldn't have known about the Rewalts if you never had them in the first place anyway. So you're only talking about what you have that you may possibly would have lost. So you can't really say that. That doesn't
not
make
lost,
sense.
but we're saying you would never probably came to your team, maybe, because they would have been. They would have gone to Tasmania. Maybe.
So have they got a name for them?
All right, so that's all right. Good one. We can get into that. So no, they haven't got a name yet. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, the Tassie Devils is the obvious one, but obviously then there's the conflict with Warner Brothers for the Tasmanian Devil they've got there. So I don't know if that'll actually come into play or not, but Tassie Devils is probably the obvious one you'd think. I've never been to Tassie, so I don't really know too much about it to think of names all of a sudden, but I know they've got a couple of nice old jails down there, maybe something about that. I don't know. It's going to be,
I reckon it's going to be the Tasmanian Kangaroos because North's going to merge. Alistair Clarkson, he's been waiting to do this, mate. It's all set up, mate. The AFL's set it all up. He's going to go to Tassie, obviously through Hawthorn, and the North's going to merge with Tassie. He's going to bring half a dozen good players with him, and it's going to be the Tasmanian Kangaroos.
Yeah. Oh, look, you probably know something that we don't know, Mark. I don't know. You might have connections somewhere. And what you're telling us could be the real deal, but I think Tasmanian Devils. I mean, that's just boring. I mean, could they probably claim and say, you know what, we're the original Tasmanian Tigers, maybe we should be called the Tigers.
You can't do the Tigers because the Tigers.
Maybe the Tigers might merge, mate, after what's been going on. Quiddy. Hey, maybe the Tigers might merge,
never
mate.
in a million years. Over my dead body, never in a million years am I letting that.
I think the Tasmanian Devils is the perfect name. That's the only one. It's not boring. It's the name. They've got a Tasmanian Devil there. Like, what else do you want? The problem is this Warner Brothers. They're going to probably want rights, even though they steal the name from Tasmania. They steal the name of their little cartoon character who was only ever in about 10 episodes. And now what they want to do is, we don't know yet, but they might ask money to use the name of the state that wants to use it. Like, it's just
they'll go broke, mate. They'll go broke.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue is when it comes to merchandising and stuff like that. I think that's where the problem lies. Because I don't know. Can you trademark an actual animal? You know what I mean? Like the Tasmanian Devil is the name of the animal. Can you trademark that, or is it more the merchandise and the commercial side of it that they're going to be more concerned about? So
no, you can trademark it. You can trademark anything because Jim Giannopoulos, from Wogs Out of Work, he trademarked the word wog, and you can't use the word wog in any sort of advertising.
Come on, there. What are you talking about there? Come on.
That's right. He trademarked the word wog. So now, if you've got a show, you can't use the word wog in it unless you get permission from him. So you can trademark anything.
Well, that's why our show's not called Four Wogs Talking Footy. Otherwise,
that's right.
You would have figured it out.
That's right. All right, I think that's enough for talking about that shit team. They're going to be shit anyway. They're going to be just above.
Fuck Tassie, mate. They're
going to be just above
bottom of the ladder,
Richmond,
mate. 19.
Yeah, that's it. All right, one more quick one then while we're here, because I had this written down. So let's have one more quick one, and we'll see what we'll say about this one. Here you go. They're talking about what time should the grand final be on? The daytime, like normal, twilight, or night? I think Richmond had a night one. Collingwood had a twilight. Geelong have had a day. What's your thoughts on what time the grand final should be?
They should do it.
Keep it in the day.
They should do it at 9 o'clock in the morning, mate. Because they're turning it into a joke. It's turning into a joke. I mean, I think twilight's fantastic.
Okay.
I think I see, because I work in the city, and I see how much the city is buzzing all day prior to the game. The amount of people, the cafes, the restaurants. Then the game starts, and the city's still buzzing. You make a whole day of it. It becomes a whole event. You do it too early, the game's over at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Then the people, cafes, restaurants aren't open yet. Whatever, mate. Let's lead by example. Let's do something different, man. Let's do something different. What a silly argument to be talking about. I mean, it's ridiculous. AFL's got nothing better.
It's not a silly argument because they're talking about it, and they're talking about either 2:30, 4:30, or 7:30. Right? They're the things. Right? That's what they're talking about. You go to me. I'm traditionalist. I want the 2:30. I like it. You have a barbecue. You have your game. You finish at 5, and then after that you can do it. When there was the night grand final, sorry to say, but the 7:30 was bad because you finished at like 10, 11 o'clock, and that was the Melbourne grand final, I think.
Yeah, that's too late. That's too late.
So you're gone by then. You're gone.
Maybe the twilight zone, the twilight, that might work. So, no later than that. That's my opinion.
Yeah,
I love the 2:30.
Like I say, you three boys might not remember what it's like, but being a part of 3 recent premierships, I've managed to see 2 final and a night grand final, and I can safely say that for me personally, the night grand final, I don't really want to see that one again. I could be swayed for a twilight potentially, but I'm like you, Rock. I'm a traditionalist. I want the 2:30 time slot. I like if you're not going to the game. I like the idea if you're at home, you have a barbecue, you can have people around. Then afterwards, you can go out and do other things. Like previous years, I've gone out and done stuff after the grand final. The ones I went to, you'd sell, because we won them. We're pretty good if you guys didn't realize. And after that, we went out and celebrated like all night, and it was awesome. So I like the day. I could be pushed to twilight, but definitely no 7:30 stuff for me.
No,
I agree. Just this comment from Gogan. 90s Bad doesn't have any time for anything. Now, the reason I highlight this one is Gokan is the owner of Stitz Northland. So Gokan, he's a man, bring him on. Bring him on. Everyone go to Northlands.
Manja.
Yeah, that's it, man. I think we're all on kind of the agreement there that it's either 2:30 or 4:30. Don't make it night. I don't know. I'm happy with the 2:30.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You know what? Lock it in, Eddie. 2:30.
Lock it in. I think, but one day it's going to change because it's all about money. It's all about TV rights. It's all about what looks good. And I think one day they'll slowly move it over to the night one. You know what it's like? They'll bring it to 4:30. It's like just slowly getting you used to it, and then bang, it'll be 7:30 one day, and then you're done. So
I'll be in bed by then, mate. I'll be in bed.
And plus, I think the AFL are the worst for entertainment. They are just the worst. I can't imagine them doing entertainment at night. They'll fucking wreck it, man. They'll bring on who knows who they'll bring to sing. I don't know.
But, yeah, just quickly on that because we're going to keep moving. I know, but you talk about the entertainment. I think they try too hard to do what they do over in the States with the Super Bowl and things like that. But you look at the Super Bowl. Most people that watch it, especially around the world, I mean, probably speaking for myself here, but you watch it for the spectacle. People go, oh, yeah, I just tuned in to see the halftime show. No one does that with the AFL. No one cares. Everyone just wants to watch the game. No one cares.
The game.
It's a bonus if there's someone good. Like I went to the grand final last year, the Geelong-Sydney one, and Robbie Williams is right in front of me. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. Yeah. But I didn't go for Robbie Williams. I went to see
Robbie's the man. You can't hate Robbie. No, Robbie's the man. Like, I agree.
I just want to rock.
What about this, mate? No more meatloaf, please. No more meatloaf.
So right.
I agree. You know what they should do weekly on the entertainment? Entertainment should be simple, man. You do the run. You do a kicking competition. You do something like that. I think that's enough, man. I just enjoy the basics of the like
the game.
Halftime. Yeah, you watch the game, man. Stop trying to fucking do. Stop trying to do. Why don't they listen to us?
That's just the beauty of our sport, though, is that our game is that good that that's the only reason you need to tune in is for the game. So I love it.
All right. This has been good. Bit of a good conversation. All right, let's go, boys. Well, listen, man, we're here for one reason. I know that Quinn wants to miss this part of the but we can't, man. We got to go into it. So the first thing we're going to do is straight into this. Manny, you can read out the bloody. You can read out the 4 clubs where they're sitting.
Mate, it's a lonely place to be on top on your own. No one there to share the spoils at the moment. But we're looking pretty, mate. We're looking pretty at the moment. You got Melbourne, St Kilda, and you got those quiet achievers, Brisbane Lions. They're a hard team to beat when they're up at Brisbane, but Magpies are looking hot at the moment.
Oh, anyway, I did ask you to name the 4 big teams, and you went on your little rant there. So Carlton sitting at 6, and then Essendon sitting in 9. So you've just dropped out, mate. And Richmond. Wait, let me just scroll down. Let me scroll down.
Who's Richmond?
Ooh,
how do I leave the studio? How do I leave the screen? Which button do I click?
Sorry, Rocco, because a couple of weeks ago we were talking only about the teams that are on the top 4. Then it just seems to be that it's only I that are just still sitting there. So
no, I'm pretty sure that me hosting the show have always mentioned the 4 sides.
No, you're right. You're right.
You're right. You're sitting on top. Enjoy it because just like you, Collingwood scum, you'll falter just like you always do.
Yeah.
Week. But what do we got here? We got any? We got some of that. What's going here? May champions. This is exactly what we're talking about, Manny. What do we got here? Oh, who's this? Oh, no regrets. He's been hanging on to get on. Tide has beaten more of the teams in the top 9. Oh, well, now he thinks
That's
the
right.
top 9.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
Well, I think he said he means that because Essendon at the moment is sitting 9th.
Girl, stop it.
You know,
Stop it. Sit down.
See, I mentioned Collingwood. Even your dogs are getting excited in the background.
They're about to spew up, mate. They're going to kill each other, saying that I heard that fucking stupid name. Anyway, let's get into here we go. You don't win premierships in May, Manny, which you've always been going on about. Let's go to the first game. First game. Let's have a quick look at this one there. Not much to say here.
Whoa.
That wasn't
Am I reading that right?
We just had, there was 6-8-44 to 23-14, 152. It was a little bit of a demolition. 6-8 is only one less goal than Collingwood, I think. So, as you can see there. So that was a pretty much look, at the end of the day, we did what we had to do. We've been asking Carlton, as Carlton supporters, we've been asking them to finish off a side, and that's exactly what they did. Was it much of a opposition? No. Did I really get excited? No. But will I take the 108 points? I'll take it. Hopefully they got a bit of form out of that. And the next 4 weeks for us will definitely determine where we're sitting. Unlike Manning, we're not fucking like March Premier.
No, you know what? Well spoken, Rocco. And you're right. It's those
Come on,
things
no regrets. Animal, I love my dogs. I'm going to bash them in a sec, but I love them.
Hey, Rocco, you're right.
Yes, where's my little one? Archie, come here.
At the moment,
Archie.
At the moment, you've got to be able to beat teams like the West Coast. I mean, the West Coast at the moment are a team that's got, they've got their issues, and this is where you've got to, no opportunity. I mean, you can do it. You got to put them away.
Foot on their throat, and that's what we did. That's all I asked. A few players played well. Hopefully they continue that form. As I said, you can only beat who's in front of you. I'll take 100. I was asking for them to have no mercy, and that's exactly what they did, man. So I'm happy. Does it mean that we're back? Does it mean all that? No, I'm not like that, mate. I want to see the next 4 weeks. Mate.
I tell you what, though. I hate watching Carlton unless they're playing Collingwood and they're losing by a point. But I actually enjoyed watching that last quarter, hoping that Kerner was going to get 10 goals. I was really, it was just fantastic to see, and he had a great game. He actually had a great game.
He's a star, man. There's no doubt. If he's not the best, he's the second best forward going around, and he's exciting. He kicks goals. He's actually kicking straight this year. He's not going back and doing around the corner a lot. Mate, he's an absolute star. He could be the best. He could be the best forward going around at the moment, and I'm happy with that. So yeah. So anyway, listen. What else can you say about a 108-point demolition of him? What you can't say much more, man. That's it. It is. No,
you can't. You can't.
And we'll see what happens, and we'll talk about who we play in the next round when we come up to it. But I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Hopefully, our boys got some form, and hopefully they continue on this week, and we'll slowly make our way up and build ourselves up and be ready for the end of the year. Unlike you, Manny, March premiers. But anyway,
has West Coast ever been beaten by over 100 points at home, or?
I don't think so. I think that's their loss there. I don't think anyone's kicked 9 goals on them. Look, it's been a fortress over there. It's been a fortress. Yeah. And so, but we punished them. Hey, we punished them, man. And
it was good. It was good to see Kerno and Mackay kick 8 goals plus between them. So
8 goals that's plus. They kicked fucking 11.
Yeah, well, 8 goals plus.
But the other, I know what you're getting at, but I'll tell you something. The rest of the side kicked another 11, so your theory goes down the tube.
So that's why Carlton won, because because Kerno and Mackay kicked 8 goals twice in the
Hey,
game.
No,
And
I
that's
reckon.
why Carlton won. If they didn't kick those goals, maybe West Coast might have got a little bit closer.
Even if they didn't, do you know that Kerno bet West Coast on his own? He scored 57
I know that.
goals.
I know that. We know
Hey,
that. We know that. But
You're lucky
that's my
chum.
philosophy.
Vince Cottagio, mate. That was your lucky chum. I reckon that bloke might be your lucky chum. Vince Cottagio.
You reckon 108 points is lucky?
Yeah.
No,
No shit team ever wins by 108 points. Remember that. Anyway, let's get to the next one because this one's for you, mate. 16-8, 104. Essendon to Geelong, 2012, 132. And that man on screen is like 68 years old and he kicked 8 goals on your shit defence there. What do you say about that, my friend? The stage is yours.
No, well, the stage is not mine. It's just obviously we have got a bigger, strong backman at this stage, and we lost Laverde as well. But no excuses for that. But you just can't have teams like Geelong kicking the first 6 goals against you. It just doesn't work. So I was pretty disappointed that again they got off to a good start. Hawkins obviously smashed us. He kicked the record 8 goals at the MCG. It's always going to be against Essendon. But look, the only thing I could say as a promising thing is that we outscored them in the second half. And we went down by 28 points, but we could have gone down by a lot more. So it was good effort from the boys to
Mark, jump goals at the end.
Hey, Mark.
You have to be a confident author.
Yeah. I remember those famous words on our first opening show. Actually, no, on the second show when you turned around and you said that when the team finishes on top after round 1, they always end up in the top 4 or in the top 8, something like that. At the moment, the last 2 weeks, the way the Bombers, Collingwood ripped into them, that broke their heart, and I thought that was the end of that. But last week, the only good thing I could actually say is that 5-day turnaround. It
was actually 4 days, but
4 days.
I don't understand it as well because how can you have a team that's got 8-day break playing against a team that's had a 4-day break? The AFL is ridiculous.
You two are the ones who want the Anzac. You get all the benefits of
That's
the
fair
Anzac.
enough. That's okay.
Every once in a while, you're going to have like a short break.
I think Essendon was unlucky. Essendon was unlucky, and correct me if I'm wrong, Quinn, but Essendon was unlucky because at the moment you're playing against Geelong, who Geelong has come from the dead, and the last 4 games are showing that they're clearly on the way up. Yeah.
Essendon and Collingwood should have had the bye this week and just move on from there because 4 days.
What do you mean a bye? What do you mean? You can't, man.
Well, then the AFL should have had Essendon playing maybe Richmond or Melbourne on that Sunday because they played on a Monday night and they would have had the 5-day break. But you can't play against the AFL is always rigged. It's always against Essendon,
man, unfortunately, mate, there is the competition isn't fair. Every week there's some sort of issue. Everyone. Anyway, how did
that's right? And just quickly while I'm at it, just quickly.
He had 19 disposals.
Who's that?
Westerfield.
Will.
If he doesn't perform next week, he'll be dropped to the second. So just be careful there, little fella.
How did he go, Manny? You said he had 19. How did he go?
Efficiency. I think it was about 60%, but he didn't.
You're trying to do your research. Well, I'll tell you something, man. His efficiency wasn't 60s. His efficiency was 53%. He had 7.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
27 centre bounce attendances. How many clearances, Mark?
God knows. I don't care. I didn't even worry about that.
7 disposals in the second half.
I think your best player was. I think the best player was Darcy.
5 centre bounces attendances and 0 centre
I'm just gonna go to my 3 votes. I'm just going to get him on 3 months.
Parish.
Downhill fucking skier.
Parish.
Have him, mate. Have him.
Parish. Parish was a good player.
Best on ground.
Parish.
I'm gonna give it to Stringer. No, Stringer.
Stringer. No way.
Yeah. Nah.
That's a good point here. Your Bombers can't play. Collingwood have to travel to Adelaide.
Parish.
Who's Adelaide? Adelaide shit. Well, who's Adelaide? Anyway, so then DP3, Darcy Page, 37 disposals, fantastic. And Sam Wetterman, 5 goals. I'm going to give him the 1 vote. So,
anyway, Mark,
see how we go.
I'm going to say something about your shit side. It's all the way down to the bottom, mate. It's going to be a fight between you and Richmond because you've got Port this week. You've got no chance. You know what? You should make Setterfield your captain. That's how fucking good he is, man. Or as Manny would call him, Westerfield.
No, last week.
He's got a special on.
To be fair, last week I couldn't speak properly. I lost my voice.
So what happens? The W's did the S's turn into W's when you can't speak properly?
I said Will Setterfield, but the way it came out,
no, you never. I'm going to replay your bloody lie. You went Westerfield.
No, replay it. Please replay it.
I will replay it.
Okay.
Anyway, he needs to perform anyway.
Have you got a membership yet, Mammy?
No, I've given up on that, mate.
Oh, yeah, given up. Of course you have. All right, let's get into this because we'll get into your shit side soon, right? And I've got stats for you there. But let's go into another shit side here. Here we go. How about this? 6, 12, 14. To 11, 6, 72. Who's that bloke on screen there, Queen? Who's that bloke, mate?
Oh, around the Richmond 4 walls, we call him Judas. For those who know, traitor.
No.
As you can see, as you were saying, I'm going to leave it up to
the DC there, mate.
But you did say if you lose this week.
Right, it's a long road. We get it.
Manny. Listen to me. The show will get copyrighted, you dumbass. Don't play music. Be careful what you play.
Your own music.
You can't do that. Anyway, listen. Quinn, tell me. What went wrong?
There's nothing to say.
We've only got 20 minutes to go, Rock. Well, how long do we have to talk about this, mate? What didn't go wrong is that there's no connection inside 50 for starters. That's the biggest thing that I see when I'm watching the games. We kick it forward, and it's like we close our eyes, launch it in there, and hope for the best. Nothing's teeing up down there. Yeah, and no regret as much as I think I hate you right now. That comment is spot on. They are our bogey side. We just can't get them. I think they've beaten us last 3 or 4 times now, and they're killing us. They're absolutely killing us. But yeah, no, we're just nothing's clicking at the moment for us, and we're doing dumb things as well. And I appreciate that, Matul. I feel bad for me as well. It's I don't know. It's like Noah Bolter. He's playing such good footy as a fullback at the moment. He looks good down there. And if for whatever reason, the last 3 weeks, the last quarter, we've gone, let's put him in the forward line. But it doesn't work. We found this out. Why do we keep making the same mistakes? I don't know. It does my head in. Are the Tigers still playing?
Yeah. Quiddy, mate. Really don't know what to say. It's crazy. Do you honestly reckon, Quinn? Do you honestly reckon just at this stage, you reckon Richmond will make the finals? Just be honest. Like if you think that they'll make it, that's fine. But
no,
you honestly reckon they'll make the finals? No. You reckon they can come back?
Hey, Mark,
they can come back and win.
I tell you what, that's unfair. That's unfair, Mark.
No, it's not.
Why would you?
I'm asking you the question. I'm asking you the question.
Before the Gold Coast game, Mark, I thought, you know what? If we can get a win against the Suns, a win against West Coast coming up this weekend, I thought maybe there's a couple of wins we need to just start us a little bit. But after what I saw on the weekend, it's getting rid of all hope for me.
There's a big if.
At the moment, we're keeping the bottom of the ladder warm for when the Bombers come down and join us later in the year. So we're keeping it warm for you boys down there. But yeah, no, it's It's
sad
not.
to see. It's sad to see the Tigers.
It hurts me to watch it. I'm at the game thinking, I don't know what I'm doing here. The final siren went on Sunday, and I reckon I just sat in my seat for like 10 minutes. I just didn't know how to react. It was like, how have we done this again? I don't get it. But it's going to be a long road for Richmond.
Taranto is a superstar, though.
Yeah, well, they're not doing anything.
You know, it doesn't matter how bad the teams play. He's always there. He's always.
That's what I want to say. Everyone's hanging shit on these new blokes, Taranto and Hopper. I think they've been great every game this year. If I had to critique them, I'd say Taranto needs to hit the scoreboard more. But other than that, I reckon they've been great. You know.
Yeah.
No regrets.
Mate, there's still another 13, 14 weeks to go.
Full of comments, no regrets, because that's Manny's mate. But he's got no idea. He follows a team that's only won 2 grand finals in 64 years. But the Ticks sold the farm for Taranto, worst kick in the AFL. What do you say about that?
Well, there's no regret ever seeing Clayton Oliver kick the football. He's rated as one of the best midfielders in the competition, and he can't kick to save himself. So you actually look at Tim Taranto in terms of clangers and kicking efficiency. He's right there with all the top midfielders in the competition. Not to bring him down, Rock, because I'm not bringing him down, but he's only like 2% behind Paddy Cripps in terms of efficiency. And no one's saying anything about Cripps. Rightfully so. I'm not trying to say Cripps is shit, but I'm just saying he's not far off the mark, and everyone's hanging it on him. So
you know what happens, Glenn? You know what happened. You play bad, you lose games, and they're going to start attacking all your moves, all your trades. They're going to do everything, and you just have to take it. And if you don't win, they're just going to keep attacking those moves and saying that you've sold your future. You know what I mean? That's what. Then next year, Taranto Hopper are going to get better. You know, So they'll learn the game plan and
they'll settle.
They'll settle. I don't think they're your worst. I don't think that's your issue.
No, they're definitely not our issue. We've got plenty of other issues. And like I said, I think the connection inside 50 is probably our biggest one. I think defensively we're not too bad, and it's just decision making as well that's poor. Like you look at a couple of decisions we made on the weekend, and just just general efficiency around the ground, it's letting us down, and we're hurting in our turnovers.
You haven't got the hunger.
Tigers
haven't got the hunger anymore, mate. They haven't got the hunger. Tigers have always got the hunger.
That might be it. You're as successful as we are, and you guys probably don't remember what it feels like, but it's hard to keep that motivation level up so high. But yeah, look, it's going to be a long road.
That's won 3 premierships. I said this to you last time. I said, mate, you're a 1-3. Teams tend to keep onto their plays a little bit too long, and that they want to keep that distance going, and that's fair enough. Unfortunately, sometimes it hurts you. It might hurt you. I did say about Martin, maybe thinking about a trade. It did come out in the media this week. Some other prominent footballer said the same thing. You all laughed at me, especially you, Manny. You got no fucking idea. But sometimes you got to be thinking about your future and what you can do, yeah? So anyway, it's going to be a hard year for you on Fourver Rivals, Quinny, because
better not lose against West Coast, mate.
I know.
I tell you what, Rock. If I could go back through time to the conversation we had, and you told me about this show and the possibility of doing it, I would have said no if I knew we were going to be this shit. There's no way. I thought we were going to be all there. I thought a bit of fun. I can have fun with everybody. Nah, this is shit.
Nah, you're a great man, mate. You know what? It takes class, man, to keep coming up. And people could say whatever they want about us, our comments and that, but at least we put ourselves out there, mate. And we put our face and our name to it. And then if we cop it, we cop it. No, what's this one say? No more, no regret. The Tigers what's Tiger now? It's actually a Tiger running around the field. All right. No regrets, please. Go and get yourself an education. Maybe read a book once in a while. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right. Everyone's been waiting for this. Here we go. You ready? This could be the most exciting thing you've done in the bedroom for like 30 years, mate. Here we go. Look at this, mate. I'm going to give you the score 7, 16, 58, 8, 11, 59. They should have been much more ahead. But again, Collingwood come from behind, and I think they've got the teams spooked just quietly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, Collingwood's got this never say die attitude at the moment. And you're right, Rocco. You're getting a lot of teams who are coming into that last quarter, and they're shitting themselves. They're putting a lot of pressure on themselves. I mean, prime example was, against the Bombers. And then, of course, we had that 4-day turnaround and we had to fly to Adelaide. And we prepared ourselves against an Adelaide team that, Adelaide is a good side. And I can tell you right now, they missed their opportunities. And if you miss your opportunities, you miss those opportunities. And then, because they had a chance in that last quarter to put at least one goal away, and that would change the whole momentum. But they didn't.
100%.
And then the Magpies were just...
Blue bagger here. Adelaide didn't kick straight. What do you expect? And they did kick themselves out of it, So, and then once they gave Collingwood that sort of chance. But, mate, bad kicking is bad footy. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
as simple as
that's our trademark. That's our trademark at the moment. That's our trademark at the moment. We play pressure footy in that last quarter. That's just how we are at the moment. And you know what?
I think they shit themselves.
It comes down to fitness. It just comes down to fitness.
Is a dud.
It just comes down to fitness. It comes down to fitness. And the only thing that we're unlucky at the moment, we haven't got.
It's not down to fitness, Manny. Don't tell me that any side isn't fit. No, it's not. It's got nothing to do with fitness. They're all fit. Of
course it has.
I don't know. What do you mean? You're trying to say you're fitter than Adelaide?
I'm saying that we've clearly shown that in the last quarter, all right, we seem to just find something out of nowhere, that extra bit of energy. I reckon that's coming down to pre-season preparing, and that's what I'm putting it down to.
Nah, they're not fitter. They're not fitter. They just took on the game. Adelaide shit themselves. It's got nothing to do with fitness, man. They're all ready to rock and roll, man. If any team isn't fit at this stage of the fucking season, get rid of them, mate.
Look, last year,
pressure foot causes players to burn out. Wait till you see.
Last year, with exceptions to losing from the Swans by a point, because that was really the only game where we really came back and we lost. All right, anyway. Eight of the 9 games last year, we came back. So
it's not about fitness. It's not about fitness, man. You're not a fitter than another side. That's bullshit, man. They're professional athletes, mate. They're ready to rock.
It's a mental. It's a mental thing.
It's a mental thing, man. You didn't outrun them.
Okay.
Full of shit again.
All right. Well, you know what? Team belief. We're putting pressure. We're just at the moment. We're just
Wow.
It is.
That's
and you know what, Manny.
The first thing you said.
Kudos to Collingwood, mate. Kudos to Collingwood.
What's it?
Kudos to Collingwood, mate. Fantastic that you've won. It was a great game, but I just hope that when it gets closer to the end of the rounds, and they're going to lose those games.
Oh, I think Collingwood will fall. But Crows tried to protect the lead instead of going for the kill, and that's exactly what happened, mate. They changed their game style. They were trying to stop the game like 30. They were trying to stop the game 20 minutes left into the quarter. Man, sometimes teams have got to know that what got you there. You got to keep going, mate. You can't stop it.
And that's what happened with Essendon as well. So
you know what?
Good on you, Collingwood. But I think when it comes to finals, don't rely on that. Don't think that teams are going to just fall down because you won't win those games that you think you're going to win.
You know what?
Just be mindful of these collywobbles.
We're at the moment. We're there on top. We're doing well.
Kudos
if teams are not going to apply the pressure and stop us when they have to stop us, we'll find that opportunity. And we'll lead them up. We'll clean them up. I'm going
to give you one more quick statement, Manny. Dacos, what a fucking pretender. Downhill skier. When it came to it, they put a tag on him and the cunt just capitulated. He had 20-something possessions. His efficiency was below 55%. He had something like 7 clangers. Put the pressure on the kid and he falls away. Stuff your Dacoses. And the other thing is, you stop Dacos, you stop Collingwood, mate, and teams are starting to work it out, mate.
They will.
So, Manny, get used to your fucking get used to sitting on top of the ladder for your 1 week because you're going down, mate. You're going down, and I can't wait to beat you up like the little bitch you are. All right.
What's that, Ginnivan? What's that? That's it, Rocco. Hey, Rocco. Ginnivan was just telling me maybe you want to add a little tail in the back of your head, and you guys can go out clubbing together.
Here we
What do you
go.
reckon?
Rocco, Nick is a star better than any of the youngsters. Yeah, just have a look at Walsh's stats this week. 80% efficiency, 10 tackles. Nick only had 4 tackles. He's a downhill fucking skier, man. You can jam the star up your ass, mate. And I'll take the true and tested week in, week out, any day of the week. Regrets, I told you, mate. Don't read a book. Anyway, let's move on because we are into the last 9 minutes. Fuck, this time goes fast. All right, let's do this. Let's go into the tips.
What's the prize? What's the viewer's prize?
Did you work something out?
Oh, I thought Manny was saying last week that the viewers are going to suggest the prize for the winner of the tips.
Yeah, we didn't really get anything. So let's everyone in the comments. What should the winner get?
Rocco shouting $250.
All right, we can work something out. How about we all put in some money and the winner takes it? How about that?
Well, let's choose something.
All right, let's choose something. All right, but in the meantime, all right, here we go. The winner will definitely get a voucher to Snitz. I'm gonna put that up. I guarantee you guys that we'll give you a thing to Snitz. All right. So let's go. Let's get through this.
All righty, starting off Friday night. Rocco, your Blue Boys take on the Brisbane Lions at Marvel Stadium. Big game to kick off the week. Friday night football back with a quality game. And, geez, it's going to be tough, but I just reckon that big win, I know it was only against West Coast, but it might just be the kickstart the Blues need. And Brisbane don't play too well away from home. So I reckon I'm tipping the Blues this week.
Thank you very much. Well, I'm just going to quickly say before I get the other two rejects on, right? I'm going to say the Blues. I think that hopefully it's the change we need. They've got a couple of big outs. So they got Rich. They got Rich.
Turn it up.
Hey, Manny, you were the one who picked the draw between West Coast and Carlton, so I would shut the fuck up while I'm talking.
Well,
anyway,
that's because I thought you both shit.
Am I giving my tips or what?
Go for it.
I know you're trying to be funny, but let me give my tip. Right? Now, I said they got 2 big, Zorko and Rich are out, right? And that is huge for them. Their midfield doesn't bat and they don't travel well. So I'm going Blues.
Wow, that's exciting. Yeah, no, I'll go Blues too.
After all that, you went Blues. All right, go. What about you?
This is my toss of the coin game, to be honest.
I like it.
Carlton's home, Brisbane away. And it is heads. Carlton.
All right, so we got all Blues there. All right, good on you.
I was going to go Brisbane in that game too.
All righty. Well, the Saturday afternoon game, the next game, and yeah, Petra's right there. No Rich and Zorko. It's going to make it hard for Lions.
It is going to be a huge difference, I think. So we'll see how we go.
That's it. Well, we'll move on to the Saturday game because we're going to keep flying through nearly 6 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to fly through these. Let's fly through them.
We got my boys, the Tigers, coming up against West Coast. And if anyone on this channel wants to see me ever again, Richmond better win this game. Let me tell you, it's your guy. And I said it last week. I said last time was the last time I'm tipping Richmond, but I'm tipping them again this week. And if we lose, oh God, you never see me again. So Richmond for me this week.
I'm Richmond too.
Richmond for me, but I'll tell you now, Quinn, if Richmond lose, sorry boys, I'm not coming on next week. All right, that's it. I'm finished. If Richmond lose,
I'm saying Richmond, but I reckon that they won't. I don't think there'd be more than 120 points scored in the whole match.
All right, so you're going
combined.
Richmond. All right, let's move on because we've got 5 minutes.
I agree with that, Manny. Well, yeah, we'll move on to the next game. We've got the reigning premiers, the Cats, taking on Adelaide at GMHBA. I mean, Adelaide have played some good footy, but Geelong really don't lose down there. And last time they played a side, it was the Swans. They smashed them. So Geelong, for me, I think it's going to be quite comfortable.
Geelong for me.
Geelong
for me.
Yeah, next one.
Moving on, we've got, I hate these pricks, but the Gold Coast Suns taking on the D's at Heritage Bank Stadium in Queensland. And I don't know, the Suns won't beat too many good sides, and we're obviously not there at the moment. So, yeah, Melbourne for me will win this one.
Yeah, Melbourne for me.
Melbourne for me.
All right, we're all going, mate. Like, this is, we got a few here. Keep going.
No, we'll keep moving. We've got, where are we up to? We've got Freo taking on Hawthorn at Optus Stadium. And, geez, this really could go either way. Hawthorn plays some serious footy, but it's, at home, Optus Stadium, hard to go against Freo. And I think they're desperate for a win. And Nat Fyfe might potentially play, which would be a massive in if they can get him. Yeah. So, Freo for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Freo for me.
Freo for me too.
All right, we've all done exactly the same so far. Let's keep going.
Let's all in agreement. Well, Mark, we're up to your boys now.
Hang on, we've missed Giants.
Yeah, Giants and Bulldogs.
Oh, we did too. We skipped over them. Well done, Manny. Apologies, everybody. Yeah, well, we got the Giants taking on the Doggies at Manuka Oval. That's still on the Saturday nights. And for me, I'm going the Dogs. I'm going the Dogs for that one.
I'm going Giants.
I'm going Giants as well.
Yeah, I'm going Giants too. They actually played a good game, man. That was a pretty good win on the weekend. Yes, next one.
Very good. Next game, back to the Sunday. We got your team, Mark. We got Port Adelaide taking on the Bombers at Adelaide Oval. And apologies, Mark, but I don't think many teams are going to beat Port at home this year. So Port Adelaide for me.
Port Adelaide.
Essendon by 8 points.
All right. I thought you were going to go Essendon, but you got no chance. You might as well give up the season. Now, you should go for draft picks, mate.
Maybe, mid-season. Pick up some Carlton players. Dowie or whatever his name is. Dowie.
We got Collingwood taking on the Swans at the MCG. Manny, we hope that we'll see you at the game, mate. But it's I reckon the Swans have probably got a bit of the heebie-jeebies from last year about what you guys did to them. So Collingwood won't lose this one. Not at the G, not the way they're playing.
Hot pies.
What are you going?
Yeah. Collingwood for me at the moment.
Collingwood for the tips because I can't see. The Swans have absolutely shit the bed this year. I don't know what's going on with them. From I think ever since they lost their grand final, far out. All right, what do we got?
Last game, we're nearly there. Last game, we've got North Melbourne taking on St Kilda Marvel Stadium, the twilight fixture. I tell you what, the Saints, they're not going to lose. They're not going to lose 2 weeks in a row. They'll bounce back from that one, and they'll beat North Melbourne quite comfortably.
Yeah, St Kilda for me.
Yeah, I was going to go North for this game because I was thinking maybe they might have impressed themselves to merge with Tasmania, but I think St Kilda will win this.
Yeah, I think so. The Saints will win this. I mean, North are just shot, man. I'm telling you, they picked up a couple more injuries which they cannot afford. So they're gone. All right, let's have a quick look at this. There we go. Look at Marco. He moves to 40. Manny's falling away just like the Pies. Rocco's coming up from behind at 36, mate. He's got the biggest points, and Twins just Twins both got 6 this week. So there you go.
So you're learning from the Greeks. You're learning from the Greeks.
We're learning from the Greeks exactly up from behind, mate. Up from behind in Gulo. All right, let me just make a few statements. First of all, I just want to say because we've got to go, but before we go, thanks for everyone joining, man. Seriously, we do love you guys, man. Seriously, I have a great time coming on. I love that everyone comes on. Second of all, thanks for stints. Third of all, I just want to say Vinny Catoggio is up next. Vinny, the spinner, the cat Catoggio, one of the great, most skillful players you'll ever see. If you see his highlights, you'll understand. So everyone get on and watch that. And one more thing I just want to say, all the best to me mate, Vince Lochisano. He's the one who does the interviews with me. He's gone in today. He had a major operation. man, and we're all thinking about you, man. We know you're going to pull through, man, and you're a
All
strong man.
the best. All the best.
We love Vince, man. He's a big part of the jumper punch. So, Vince, all the best, man. And apart from that, it's time to go, man. So thanks very much, guys. Thanks, everyone. We got some cheers, good show. Everyone's loving it. Even no regrets.
Hey,
What's he say? No regrets. Love you, Rocco, even though you go for a shit team.
yeah, he's right. He's right. All right, well done.
Go the Bombers!
All right. Popeyes!
Go the Bombers!
Go the Tigers!